What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Oscar's Cozy Corner. Now, there is one thing that seems to spark a little bit of discourse always in the Dreamlight Valley community, and that is DreamSnaps, and more specifically, DreamSnap submissions. What people do, how they do it, how they go about it. It causes all sorts of discussions that I see over various social media platforms, and I stumbled on one on Reddit yesterday, which caught my eye, and I thought that we could just talk a little bit about it. So yesterday I saw a Reddit thread that had over 500 upvotes, and it was called DreamSnaps Rant. Now, I know that Reddit is no stranger to getting these rants about DreamSnaps, and this one was no different. It's complaints that I've seen before. The gist of it is stemming from outfit challenges, and then people find it a little bit frustrating that in an outfit challenge you can't actually see the outfit always in somebody's dream snap, plus the fact that snaps tend to be kind of like over decorated now with sparkles, fireflies, all of that sort of thing. I'm no stranger to it. I feel like a lot of people who submit dream snaps are no stranger to it because that tends to be what gets rewarded. But I know that it irks some people, and those feelings are valid too. I do get where this thread is coming from, but I do have some thoughts of my own as well. So let's just jump straight in. Let's take a look at what this Reddit thread says, see some of the comments, see some of the sentiment in the community, and then I'm going to throw it over to you to let me know what you think, whether you agree or disagree. Now, it doesn't matter which side of the opinion spectrum you fall on. It doesn't really matter anyway. It's not that deep. But wherever you sit, let's keep it respectful. It's a game, Let's remember that. It's a game. All right, so this is the thread by itstar67, and they said, DreamSnap Rant, an event tag, of course. I dislike when people go over the top for outfit challenges. A lot of the dream snaps I've seen for this week is like playing Where's Waldo with critters because of how much unnecessary stuff people put in the background. Your decor doesn't need tags, so why all the unnecessary stuff? All the sparkles and shiny stuff are blinding and not pleasing to the eye. If I can't instantly see a critter and your outfit, then it's too much in my opinion. I understand wanting a background that ties into your outfit, but it should complement the outfit, not bury and overpower it. I can't be the only one who thinks this. I will say, whenever somebody says, I can't be the only one who ever thinks it, of course you're not. Of course you're not the only person who thinks that. Now, I do have some thoughts. I already have a video, an entire video dedicated to why outfit challenges suck. I still don't like them. I still don't enjoy them. I think that they are kind of unnecessary for a plethora of reasons that I go into in that video. The main one being that tags on outfits are extremely limiting, so people end up wearing the same stuff, because we just go through kind of like what has 4 tags, what has 3 tags. It's really difficult to match an outfit to the theme based solely on tags, which is why a lot of people compensate with the background in an outfit challenge because it lets them feel like they've got some sense of creativity over the snap. Now, Star67 says, why all the unnecessary stuff, all the sparkles and shiny stuff are blinding and not pleasing to the eye. I think that those kind of things are subjective. As long as the DreamSnap system rewards those kind of snaps, when people see those kind of snaps doing well, they lean towards doing those sorts of snaps, and it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, we do share a lot of dream snaps. I know that there's communities on Discord, Facebook, Reddit, Dreamers Portal, of course, being one of the biggest, where we can see other people's snaps, get inspiration, and kind of like go from there for the theme for the week. For me personally, I sometimes lean into doing those like maximalist sort of snaps, and sometimes I go slightly more pared back. I used to use sparkles a lot more than I do now, so I don't really use them all that much, and I don't really use the fireflies that much anymore. But I do think that if people want to kind of like overload their snaps, that's their prerogative in a way. And if they are getting rewarded for that with, higher moonstones or whatever they see as a decent reward that week, then they're going to keep doing it. And like I said, as long as people keep voting for those and they keep getting rewarded, then it just snowballs and it becomes a thing. And then that's what Dream Snaps is. That's not to say that you can't do a simple snap and have that be successful, because I've seen many simple snaps on my Discord at least that have kind of like come through with 4,000 moonstones and they've done really, really well. Now, I definitely think there's some fair points in this rant, where they say that if I can't instantly see your critter and your outfit, then it's too much in my opinion. And I get that. I think that people seem to have a problem with sparkles in particular lately. If the sort of challenge doesn't require it, I see a tide turning a little bit towards people being like, no sparkles, I don't want to see it. If it doesn't fit the theme, I'm not interested. But you can still have an overloaded snap with other stuff. If you used too much foliage, it could feel very claustrophobic, so it's not just sparkles. But whenever people say that snaps are over decorated, I feel like they're leaning towards sparkles specifically, which I understand, because if it doesn't make sense for the snap, or sometimes there's too many sparkles, your character can get lost. But on the same sort of thread, it does feel like outfit challenges are the problem, not necessarily the player bases. I stand by this. Maybe I've got a vengeance or a grudge or something against outfit challenges. I absolutely do. But I do feel like the fault, if we're going to call it the fault, lies with outfit challenges specifically, because they're just super limiting. I'm not going to go over it and rehash old ground, but they are super limiting. So there's only so much you can do with them. So people look for other ways to kind of like find that inspiration and sort of like let out their creativity. Because for a lot of people, this is a creative outlet. I know it is for me. So I know that people like to put sort of like time and effort into that. And if they don't get rewarded, that was a different discussion about robbed, but if they don't get rewarded, I know it can feel disappointing. Lots of things to consider when doing dream snaps. Having said that, I do agree that with outfit challenges in particular, again, even though I don't like them, I will play by the rules. With outfit challenges in particular, I feel like it's at least semi-important to have your character sort of visible, because in decor challenges, yes, you can like zoom out and show off a nice decorated section of your valley, etc. But in outfit challenges, if it calls for an outfit challenge, even though I don't like them, I still always try to center my character, or at least have the character as the focus and the background is supplementary. So there is something to be said about that if, you know, trying to play Where's Waldo. But I do think a lot of the issue as well comes from Star Path tasks having dream snaps in them. I've just finished, or very nearly finished, the Garden of Whimsy Star Path, and I think I counted at least 5 submit to dream snap tasks. Now, not everybody who plays Dreamlight Valley is going to want to submit dream snaps. Even if there's 3 moonstones on the table, they just don't want to do it, and that's fine. It's, you know, it's a single player game, that's their prerogative. So I don't like that Gameloft put dream snap submissions within the Star Path as a task, because I feel like there's enough people that do dream snaps anyway. I think there's like 200,000 people that do dream snaps without sort of like the star path in it. And what happens is the star path has to be completed with those tasks. So people just submit anything, even if it's not on theme, they just take a picture. If it hits the tags, they submit it. And then the DreamSnaps voting gets flooded with, I'm going to say this not in a negative way, but low effort submissions, because people don't want to be doing it and they just have to do it to do the star path. So then we get submissions that we're voting on and we're like, this doesn't fit the theme. This, you know, what is this junkyard sort of vibe? So I think again, the fault lies at Gameloft's door for sort of like encouraging that as part of the star path. But also the same issue that I had with tags and clothing is that outfits challenges just don't give us enough creativity and there's not enough flexibility within them. But this was a very popular thread. It was upvoted over 500 times. So let's see what the sentiment is, see if any of the comments agree or disagree. So Chris Likes Bread says, excellent username by the way. Chris Likes Bread says, I no longer pay attention to the high scorers or how over the top they go with their submissions. I do my thing, try to follow what the theme is, and then I'm okay with my measly 600 moonstones each week. When I vote, I think of the theme. If I can't see the theme in either photo, I skip them and move on. I actually think Chris is bang on with this. That is the best way to approach dream snaps. Interpret the theme in your own way, submit it, enjoy the moonstone reward. Even if it's 300 moonstones, it's 300 more than you had the day before. If you're voting and you come across something you don't like, if you come across something in both you don't like, skip it and get on with your day. That's kind of where I'm at with it, and that's kind of what I always try to advocate for. I'm not a massive voter anyway. I do a little bit of voting, get my moonstones, and then I'll do a little bit extra each week. But I know that a lot of people put time and effort into both their submissions and into voting, which is absolutely fine, but I don't think letting it sort of like get you worked up if you see a lot of ones that you don't like in a row, you know, it's not worth it. It's just not worth the mental energy to kind of like put into that and be upset by. So I think Chris has got the right attitude. I think that is the majority of voters and the majority of DreamSnaps players, if you will. Do the theme, submit it, hope for the best, and see what you get, and then on to the next one. Battle Frankie 69 says, I hate it when it's an outfit challenge and people stay in selfie mode. How am I supposed to see your outfit? I agree to an extent, but I'm not gonna lie, I've seen some really interesting outfit challenges taken in selfie mode, especially when people are focused on the hair and the makeup and sort of like the top half of the outfit. I think it can work, depending on the theme. It definitely can fit the theme. So sometimes selfies do work, but I will say a lot of selfies do tend to be those star path tasks that I talked about. People jump into the camera mode, take the picture, see that it hits the tags, and just submit it. So I've got a feeling there's a slight overlap there, but I've definitely seen some decent selfies in outfit challenge, selfie mode and outfit challenge. So yeah, I think it can be done. It takes a little bit more finesse and maybe a little bit more time and effort. There's also something to note in Natty's Ruby and Love That Journey for me, both saying that they didn't know how to change the setting or change from selfie mode. So it's interesting from a UI point of view. Maybe Gameloft are noting that down. Maybe they've had that feedback before, that Actually, it might be a little bit difficult to work out how to change the camera mode. I don't know. It's just one of those things that you can kind of gloss over if you don't realize. So maybe people are submitting selfies by accident. Appropriate Regret says, am I the only one who does my 50-50 Moonstone votes and then stops voting? And generally, it seems to be the case. I know that if I'm having a really busy week, I fall into that. I know that some people do go out of their way to do voting every day, which is really nice. This person here, Corgi Help Me, says, I try to vote every day. I think that it's important to help those who follow the theme get their dues, especially during Star Path weeks. I vote extra looking for the gems because so many were taken just to get the tokens and they don't fit the theme and are extremely low effort. That's what we just talked about. We kind of had sort of a little bit of a discussion on that, and I think that that does factor in. My door just went mid-sentence. Anyway, I was saying that it's nice that people do put the effort in and try to find those gems and vote on them, because yeah, there's a lot of amazing submissions that maybe don't sort of like rank as well as the person who submitted them thought that they would, and whether that's because they get lost, there's a million reasons, and I don't think we'll ever know the DreamSnaps voting algorithm, so it just is what it is. It's nice that people take the time out of the day to do some extra votes. Moving on, X Santo says, I don't like the Where's Waldo snaps, no matter if it's clothing or design, but my main issue with the clothing is that our clothes are very limited when it comes to themes, so everyone is usually wearing the same thing. Even without tags, I feel like it's really difficult to stand out because our clothes are limited. That's why where some people compensate by bringing a good background, but I agree, I often come across posts here where the pics are so crowded you can't even spot the user. Yeah, I think that is the sentiment of a lot of people. It's definitely my sentiment and my main issue with outfit challenges, as I've said. So I totally agree with Xanto. It is what it is. Outfit challenges need to go. I stand by that. I don't think that they're any fun. I wish they would just combine outfit and decor. Let us like build up tags that way. Anything extra on the outfit is a bonus. And then, yeah, they could just make a lot of more interesting themes, because some of them don't feel like they make sense. Like, especially Daisy's Fashion Runway, that almost felt like it should have been an outfit challenge, but it was a decor challenge. And it's happened before where they're kind of like the wrong way around. So yeah, I agree 100%. So Lady Foxy says, I kept mine ridiculously simple this week, too many overly cluttered snaps. And Amber says, I agree, way too many. What I don't understand is how it seems like the majority of comments I read agree with this, but still every week the top 3 is a hurricane of sparkles, flowers, and the entire Scrooge catalog thrown into the frame. I'm not sure I'm totally on board with that. It's one of those things. I've already said, you know, those are rewarded because they get the votes. At the end of the day, that's it. So as long as people keep getting rewarded for those snaps, they're going to keep making them. I do think that there are some over-cluttered snaps, but then again, I look at some and I would be really interested to see what people refer to when they talk about being over-cluttered. Is it just some sparkles? Is it too much? I don't think that the top 3 are often overly cluttered. I think there was one on stream once when I said, wow, you know, this is a lot. But other than that, yes, there's a lot in them, but I like the snaps to feel full and kind of rich, you know. That's my aesthetic. So I don't think that there's anything wrong with doing a simple snap either. If it fits the theme and it looks great, I will vote for it. I don't think that a few comments on Reddit represents the entire player base. There's going to be over 200,000 people playing Dreamlight Valley. That's kind of like where the rankings go up to for DreamSnaps often. So if even half of those people are voting, that's 100,000 people. You're never going to get a proper sense of what the community thinks just from threads on Facebook or Reddit and stuff like that. What does speak is what wins, or what comes in the top 3 or the top 10, top 100, etc. And if they start to look the same, because people like to see that sort of thing, that's what people like to see, which is why I always say there's 2 options with DreamSnaps. You can either think outside the box, do your own thing and be happy with the moonstones, or number 2, think for moonstones, do what is expected, do what tends to be voted for, and then you will probably increase your ranking, increase your moonstone haul, whatever it is. So you have to play DreamSnaps the way that you want to play it, and you have to play it for the intention that you want to get out of it. And like I said, 2 options: play it for you, play it for moonstones. I play it for moonstones, so I just do what I think is best to get as many moonstones as I can because I want the premium shop items. Other people might not agree, and that's absolutely fine as well. I will say that Vampire Renee's comment made me laugh. Where's Waldo is right. If I can't appreciate the outfit that everyone else is also wearing that week from the premium shop, then how am I supposed to vote accordingly? Then it's Star 67 says, everyone wearing the same newest outfit is so true. Again, I do have to say, I don't put that on the players at all, because Gameloft are the ones that now link the challenge to the premium shop that week. They know that if there's a challenge for DreamSnaps that requires X or some sort of decor or some sort of outfit, the people are probably going to buy it from the premium shop to use it in DreamSnaps. It's a money-making scheme. I don't put that on the players whatsoever. That is a Gameloft thing. They know what they're doing. Everybody can kind of see what they're doing. We go along with it anyway because We want the moonstones, and it falls into like a self-fulfilling thing, as does everything else. So it's just one of those things. I do agree that when we do get an outfit in the premium shop, it makes me laugh to see it throughout all the dream snaps. But you know, go for it. You bought it. Enjoy it. And finally, I'll stop with this one. This is a pretty spicy one from Economist C9498. I've been saying this for about a year, and as I would get crapped on for, because how dare I ruin the fun and hard work of everyone shoving as much sparkles into the frame as possible. It's messy and looks horrible. Subjective, and I'm annoyed with every Wednesday and every DLV comment section. Reddit Discord is full of wah wah, I was robbed. I wanted 4K moonstones, I only got 2.5K, wah. No one is owed anything if everyone's getting sick of overcrowded hyper sparkle glow glower bubble submissions every week. You weren't robbed, everyone's just sick of seeing. I'm not gonna finish that. There's a lot. That's a lot. I already spoke about robbed and the term. I don't agree with robbed. I think it's a little bit entitled. Whether that got pushed back or not remains to be seen. I still agree with that. I do think that nobody's entitled to anything, so anything you get is a bonus. I do think it's obvious that Economist C has some feelings about it, which is just fine, but I don't know. There's a lot of opinions in there. It's all subjective. We can say that you're ruining the hard work and fun of everyone by shoving sparkles into the frame, but if that's what's getting moonstones for people, they're going to keep doing it. So but that is the Reddit thread, friends. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Are dream snaps too overcrowded? Are they over-decorated? Should outfit challenges be scrapped? Where do you sit on the dream snap spectrum? Do you like overcrowding? Let me know down in the comments. I'm sure that there is a plethora of opinions out there, and the internet is for sharing them. Isn't it just? What I will say, and not in particular with that thread, is sometimes those threads kind of get into a little bit of like, I'm not like the other girls vibes. It's a little bit high horsey in some aspects. No one in particular in that thread. I'm just saying in terms of the discussion, sometimes it does lean itself to kind of being like, I don't know, self-indulgent in a way, like I could never do the sparkles and it could never be me. Like it is what it is. And I don't think it's that deep in general. I just made a video on it because I wanted to see what people thought. But honestly, dream snaps are really not that deep. I don't think that you should overthink it. I don't think you should expend too much emotional energy on it. It's not worth it. Submit the snap, grab your moonstones, move on to the next week. Don't worry too much about what other people are doing unless it directly affects you. And the chances are it's not going to. Again, I personally love to see more freedom in the challenges that we get, whether that's outfit decor or a combination of both. But hopefully one day Gameloft will tweak the system a little bit and we'll get something a little bit newer and more exciting to play with. But thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy Disney Dreamlight Valley and all sorts of Disney Dreamlight Valley content, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I will catch you in the next one, and I will, of course, see you in the valley.